For more, Ky Luu joins me now. He's the CEO of International Medical Corps, a nonprofit that provides emergency relief to those struck by conflict, disaster, and disease. He's also a former director of USAID's Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance. Thank you so much for being with us. You've been involved in managing the response team in Gaza. What's the latest you're hearing?
Thank you, John. Just to back up a little bit, International Medical Corps has been operating a field hospital in Gaza since January 6. And since that time, we have been able to provide life-saving services to over 60,000 patients. Now, I was actually in our field hospital running it for about 3 weeks back in February and March, dealing with the military operations of Khan Yunis. I'll tell you that what's happening now in Rafah with the escalation of the military operations, as well as the closure of the Rafah border, has really pushed our operations to the limit. The earlier reports here in terms of just the 3 recent airstrikes over the last 72 hours, for example, this morning at 3:20 local time, that airstrike, we received 45 patients from that airstrike, 10 dead on arrival. That was followed around 2 p.m. with another airstrike that was about 20 meters from our guest house, where we received an additional 60 patients and an additional 20 patients who are dead on arrival. So it's taken a tremendous toll. I think all of the concerns that we have had about the military operations in Rafah, we're seeing it now in our field hospital.
So, Ky, is it what has changed, or help me understand if I've got this right? Before it was the number of people, of course, that were coming in as patients, but is it now the threat to actually even doing the medical work at all because these attacks are happening in such close proximity?
Yes. So since May 6th, we have seen just a dramatic increase in the number and the complexity of patients who are coming in our field hospital. For example, we're seeing a 600% increase in patients who are coming in with gunshot wounds, 500% increase in terms of shrapnel injuries, 50% increase in burn victims. And on top of that, with the border closures, we're running out of medicines. We're running out of medical consumables, items as simple as medical gloves we don't have access to. We have been able to get supplies from colleagues who are operating there, but it's in desperate need in terms of resupplying our hospital, as well as the ability to rotate our staff in and out. It's been weeks in terms of our inability to get people in, to get people out. So it's becoming more alarming on a day-to-day basis.
As a final question, is anything other than a ceasefire or a decision to not continue into Rafah going to change those conditions you just described?
I mean, I think our hope here is obviously that all sides to the conflict reach a conclusion. That said, as long as there is a conflict, we do hope that the safety and security of the field hospital, of our staff, of our patients are respected by all sides to this conflict, and that we are able to resupply and get in essential medicines and supplies as soon as possible. We have opened up a second field office in the middle area in Darabella. So we are prepared, we are able to scale up, but we do need to be able to have access to more people, more staff, and more supplies.
Ky Luu with the International Medical Corps, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.